Chords and Notes Nation. I am Brian, and I am back. I hope you guys had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend and safe, and I hope you guys were finally glad to get out, if you were able to, depending on where you are. Let's see, not much to update you on this end of things. I'm going to continue with the From Genesis to Revelation album and hopefully get that finished off, and then hopefully start making more videos on a more frequent basis. I am still working with equipment that I'm struggling with. I haven't been able to upgrade. It is old equipment, and it's an old brain too, so sometimes it's difficult for me to keep up with all the technology and troubleshoot and that sort of thing, but I'll get through it, and thank you guys for bearing with me on this. I will keep this short. I'm back to using my phone camera, and every once in a while it does have the tendency to have this audio video lag going on, so I don't want to make this too long, because it seems like the longer I make a video, the more opportunity for it to lag happens. So anyways, here we go with Window from Genesis.
Slowly I stretch out my arms freely, shadows of night disappear. Rise from the slough of despond, find the pathway, guiding us forward through pastures of dream day. Days to enjoy beside you once before me, dawning to dusk on the hills until morning. Come see me, take my hand. Come see me in my land, flying invisibly high. Watch me on a beautiful sky. I'll be clear and serene in the love I discovered. Long searches over, the soul is uncovered, resting on joy that abounds without ceasing, bidding farewell to the fears now decreasing. Come see me, take my hand. Come see me in my land. High upon the golden crested wave she sits, the little leaf stars in her hand. The trees all echo to the sky to pass their empty lives. Horizons constant wonderment. The ageless dreams, the wandering ship upon the reef. The albatross flies to the sky. But only Jack Frost saw the kiss you gave him in return. Crossing the mountains of truth, see them soaring majestically high, and then stop at the warning light, see it flash brightly. Thunder awakes me, the crashes beside me, shatters the scene and brings chaos to beauty, leading us forward where destiny may be. Come see me, take my hand. You from another land. Come see me, take my hand. You from another land. Come see
Okay. I don't think. Okay, good. Nope. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. Again, here we are. We're dealing with an album that's in the mid to late '60s. It certainly has that period sound. Um, and just to reiterate, here you have a group of teenagers who have begun their musical journey. Um, any sort of strings and whatnot, like violins and cellos and all that sort of thing, was added afterwards by their producer. So they didn't play all that stuff. I really enjoyed the piano intro, but it had a different feel to it than the rest of the music. It almost had a boy, what's the word I'm looking for? It gave me more of a feel of like being in the old West, like the burlesque era type stuff. That's probably not an accurate way of describing it, but that's the mental picture that was produced by hearing that sound, and then they went into the acoustic guitar and pretty much abandoned the piano from that point on, which was a little bit disappointing. In the song itself, the lyrics. Well, let me finish the music part of it first. Musically, it was good. It was solid. It didn't. It wasn't anything in the way of progressiveness where they would throw these odd time signatures at you or do any sort of accentuations that you would be surprised by. So it was pretty straightforward that way. Lyrically, they're good lyrics. They're not terrible lyrics, and we certainly are dealing with a different day and age with lyrics. The things that people choose to sing about today are much more different than the things that were sung about several decades ago. There's almost a poetry to this type of lyric writing, and there's a certain responsibility that the author of the lyrics takes upon themselves when they wish to try when they try to paint a mental picture of their message. And it's all good music for me has that as a central, as the core of what the artist is trying to do. They're trying to paint a picture with words and music in your mind's eye of what that message is. What is it that they're trying to say? And that's not an easy thing to do. And there are artists that do it with regularity, and there are artists that hit and miss on certain songs. And it's all about generating not only that mental image, but the feeling. It's been described as the marriage of, how is it, the marriage of lyric and music. Does the music fit the lyric, or the lyric fit the music to accomplish that goal? And here I think it does to a certain degree. The author of these lyrics uses words that I think musically were supported. It was more of a happy sound. Now, I didn't do a musical analysis, but I'm going to venture to say that it is in a major key. And that usually brings about when you're in a major key, it brings more of a happy sound. And when you're in a minor key, it brings more of a sad sound. And it's as simple as having a major third or a minor third changes the whole emotional content of the song. So it's enjoyable. It's their first album, so it's not, excuse me, an album that I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to listen to this album over and over and over again, but I did choose this to start with their first album in order to better appreciate their subsequent albums. So I'm going to leave it at that. There's not a whole lot much more to say about these songs at this point. Nothing really stood out. It was good. It was solid. And we move on to the next, right? So stay well, or be well, stay well. That's usually how I say it. God bless, and I will talk to you guys soon.